Hello, we're going to look at homework assignment number 2 in GIS Pro. So let's go ahead and start ArcGIS Pro. So the first thing that we want to do is get a new project. We're going to have it blank. It's going to be homework 2. And the first thing that we want to do is have a new map. And once we have our new map, we now want to add data to it. And we have on all portals, we're going to come over here and select a layer, which is territorial. Acquisitions, USA. And we want to get one from 2015, November 1st. So this is the one that we want. And now we've added that data in. And now we want to go ahead and create a layout. We're going to have a new layout. It's going to be the landscape orientation. And over here on the project and on the insert, we see we have north arrow and all this other good stuff we're going to add in. But first, we're going to have to get a new map frame. So now we have our map frame over here, which is our map. But we're going to go ahead and make sure that we can navigate on it, which we'll look at in a second here. And that should be under layout and activate. We've activated that now. We can come in, zoom in and out on our map. We can move it around. We can do a bunch of things on it. So here's where we're going to set up our map. We're going to zoom in on what we want to see, which is this portion right over here with Alaska, Hawaii, and the 48 contiguous U.S. states. So the first thing we're going to do, though, is look at the format and see that we can choose the portion of the map that we're going to be working with. Over here, we have, if I click in the lower left-hand side, I have a 1-inch border all the way around it. Here's my ruler. My width is 9. My height is 6.5 inches. So I'm good on that. And I go back over here to my map, and I could explore it. And on the layout, I can close the activation, so I no longer have this active. And if I come over here and I'm going to look at how do I, well, here's where I have my rulers. I could turn that on and off. And now what I'm going to do is come up over here to insert, and I can put in my north arrow. I could put in the scale bar. Over here, I have it in kilometers. I'm going to do a right click on it. I come over here to properties. And instead of kilometers, I'm going to make that as being in miles. I'm going to shorten this up a little. Oops. I want to have that so it's 2,000 miles. I'll put that down over here. So there's my scale. I can now put in my legend. So I've created my legend. I'm going to shut this up a little bit. And now I can move it around to where I want it, or if I'm going to put it right over here. Now one of the other things I need to put in here is going to be a text box. Put that in. But I forgot what I need to label it. So I need to label this U.S. territorial acquisitions right at the top. I'm going to get rid of that one. I have this box. Oops. I'm going to undo what I did over here. I'm going to zoom to my page. Yeah. Need the text box. Oops. Just want to get rid of that. We're going to zoom to my page again and put in my text. There's going to be USA territorial acquisitions. And center that here. So let's see what else we need to do here. We have to get it labeled, we'll do that at the end. Provide a legend, which I have done. Have a title on here of United States territorial acquisitions. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, where did my legend go to? Oh, we'll put that back in. Apparently I messed that up. So now I have it as the territorial acquisitions. And what I need to label it as on the legend, it has to be United States territorial acquisitions. I'm going to change it over here. And that should change it over here. If I zoom in, see that it has indeed done that. So what else do I need to do here is we have it in landscape orientation, a north arrow on the upper right, name and date we'll put there in a second. Did our legend being named USA Territorial Acquisition. We have the legend. Okay, and they have to be in chronological order though, so we're going to come back over here. And if we see they are not, we have the Alaska Purchase, British Secession, and so on. So what we can do over here on our map is we're going to come over here, do a right click, come over to Symbology, and if we come over here and open it up a little bit more, is that we want to do first is get these things in the right order. So if I click right here where it says territory of the original 13 states, I can pick that up and move it. And now, I need to move this one down. The second one that I have over here is going to be Louisiana Purchase in 1803. So I'm going to move all of our Louisiana purchases up there. And then next is apparently going to be the British Cession in 1818. So we're going to look at that and move that up. And then we have the East Florida Spanish Cession. So here is East Florida. Oop, and I forgot to move this one up. The Louisiana Purchase, the Texas Annexation. We've got to move that one up. You see how that's accomplished. So now if I come back over here to my layout, you see that my legend now has these items in the order which I've reordered them. I'm going to zoom to my page, and I have my north arrow, territorial acquisitions, the legend. I can come over here and with text is put in Mike Shook, and then the date 1/13/2019. And now the last thing I think that we need is to get things labeled. So we have lower 48 states in Alaska, have landscape orientation, north arrow, your name and date in the lower right hand corner. We have titled the map. We have the legend correctly done We have the legend over here. We have to have them labeled once. We have unique colors for it. So the last item that we should do is to go ahead and get them labeled. So on the map over here, I come down over here and label it. It should put the labels on, and those appear shortly. It's processing through that, but that's how to go ahead and get the map done in assignment number 2. So I'm going to hide that, and you can see that we now have a finished product. Last thing that we want to do is share it, and we're going to share this project and have it called homework number 2. Summary is U.S. territorial acquisitions. Tags is U.S. And now I'm going to go ahead and analyze it. I have no errors or warnings. So I can package it. Needs to be saved, so I'm going to do that. So now it's finished packaging. It's going to save it to my ArcGIS Online account, and then I could, if I get it saved there, I could share it. And then I have all my data packaged up. This is what you're going to need to hand in. So hopefully this makes it a little bit easier for you to see what you need to do for homework number 2.